Man, I'm actually feeling pretty good today.
That's good. I've been having a horrible day since it seems the squid stole my favorite hidey hole.
Really? It stole your hidey hole? The squid's been giving me back massages lately. Like, not even being weird. The squid just started massaging my back after I had a hot Epsom salt bath.
Should probably be concerned with that, right? I mean, a tentacle monster is trying to touch your back and butt.
It didn't touch my butt at all, but that's definitely something I should watch out for. It's probably trying to get something out of me.
Like your...
Don't say it. I know that's a distinct possibility. Let's ignore the fact that the squid seems to be doing shit for me. Of course, I'm realizing now that I'm maybe better bait than Darren is, but I don't want to talk about the squid. I should probably come up with a name for her, but I also need to stretch out the script a bit.
Want to talk about video games?
Yes, but that's the subject of this video. Kind of.
Is it another list about TTRPG video games?
No, not this time. Although I did realize yesterday, as of writing the script, that I forgot I've played the Shadowrun Returns video game, meaning I've played 6 TTRPGs based video games instead of 5, and that one would probably be in the upper half. But that's not really the subject of this video. I'm actually thinking on talking about the importance of nostalgia, but also want to talk about World of Warcraft, a fan server I've been playing. Yes, it's the same one I was talking about before in a video. Now, I don't think I need to hide the fact that this fan server is called Project Ascension, because it is advertised everywhere, especially on Instagram. As I've stated before, this game uses WoW Classic up until the Burning Crusade expansion, with the Wrath of the Lich King expansion being tested. The primary servers are a classless system, allowing you to choose different perks and abilities from different classes up to the Death Knights. But at the moment, only one ability from that class and no talents. There's also a few more test servers, one of which has the traditional classes and class progression, with some expanded stuff as well, including what they call enhancements, which I imagine they're trying to figure out how to work those with the glyphs from Wrath, and expanded classless system with new abilities to choose from, and a Wrath test server too. This game is incredibly fun for someone like me, but my complaints from my first MMO videos still hold true, as this game has absolutely zero roleplay aspects to it, except for the Western RPG thing where numbers equal role to play, instead of making a character and playing the character as the character. But I've noticed something about this game in the Bronzebeard server, which is the original classes with new quests, new items, and reorganized drop tables for every creature. It also restores some locations I've not seen in the original game since before the Cataclysm expansion. My friend and I have been playing the Bronzebeard server. She's playing a gnome mage and I'm playing a dwarf paladin, focusing on ice and shields. We're still trying to figure out what she likes, but I've found something I've not seen since I was playing Trials back during the tail end of Wrath of the Lich King. Under the tram system connecting Ironforge and Stormwind, there's an underground fighting ring. I remember this thing as the most boring arena to fight in, which I swear got removed at some point. But I enjoy that this is here. If you're playing the Horde and go to Orgrimmar, you can find an arena in the Valley of Honor, but that one is empty. There's also the Gurubashi arena, but that's also very empty. The Gnomish arena, however, is filled with NPCs. It's not just Alliance NPCs. There's orcs, Tauren, trolls, Draenei, gnomes, and so many gnomes. Then there's a bartender and a VIP section too. This location is built for roleplay, and yet there's nothing there. There may be some special items that you can find for warriors or something, but from what I saw, there's absolutely nothing. I'd love to see there could be a way for players to jump into the arena and duel, or it just auto-activates universal PvP like the Gurubashi Arena does or the arena in Negron does. Both of those are entirely empty. Hell, most world PvP locations are empty because setting PvP in this game is a bit of a chore. Each of these locations, though, have some major potential to do them, and in standard WoW they're mostly the same, except the Gnomish Arena, which is now an amazing location in Ascension and doesn't even exist anymore in standard WoW. Given the game is still in development, Ascension is, it'll likely have a lot more added to it though. These locations that spike some memories are important to a game like this. Classic WoW had a lot of things that just never got touched on, or if they did, got touched on in outside sources like books or that one TTRPG I talked about a long time ago. The Bronzebeard realm does build on that a lot, but I'll admit I don't care much for the classed systems, as it feels as slow to level up as it did in Classic, which you might like, but the fact that every enemy scales levels with you, I don't really care for. The nostalgia really speaks though, and the expansion on what was left definitely helps. It touches the mystery lover part of my brain, and it makes me want to do more and to find more. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. The fact that there's another PTR realm as well that adds more stuff to the game that makes me think they'll likely be making their own expansion to the game, preventing them from touching the Cataclysm and the problems it causes. Hell, the Cataclysm did answer some questions. Darkshore, for example, an area I've always hated going to during the Cataclysm and beyond, and only did it when I needed to level up archaeology, which was actually something I liked being added to WoW. When was that? I want to say Missa Pandaria? The area in Cataclysm was absolutely wrecked, and added a bit of teases for the Cataclysm water zone, you know the area and how much it sucks. But it also looks at some of the monsters in the area and points them out, saying, hey, so remember that? That's what that is. A lot of Cataclysm does this, but it's most memorable to me in the Darkshore region. Probably because of the amount of hate I had for it as a starting zone connection. I often just went somewhere else, though West whatever and Red whatever in the human zones weren't much better. Actually, I just didn't like Alliance zones, come to think of it. Nostalgia is important though. It draws us in, and that's why Disney is utilizing it so desperately, and brings up some surprise as to why Ubisoft is refusing to touch it with Splinter Cell. But nostalgia also makes us curious and makes us crave closure and expansion. And it's why it's a good route. It makes people find something that they are familiar with, and allows the roots of it to grow into a huge tree. So it's surprising when companies don't use it, but it also is very obvious when companies are using it, and it always runs the risk of corrupting those roots when they try and grow the tree. Now, I'm gonna go take a nap. Shove off.